Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Fresh Friday, brought to you by The Fresh Company. Last week we did a little bit of pasta. This week we're going to be taking it to the east with a delicious lentil dal or curry. And that will be accompanied by a beautiful mango pickle with some fresh mangoes that are in season at the moment. Without further ado, let's get it. Okay guys, so first up, we've got our beautiful brown lentils here. And you can see here that all we've done is soak them overnight for about 24 hours. That just helps them soften a little bit, which will reduce our cooking time drastically. Boiling them from scratch kind of extends the process a little bit. So what I'm going to do here, I won't use all of these because it's quite a lot. So I'm going to use about half of those. Okay. And now we just cover those with some water. So my kettle I have boiled already. And so we'll just cover like that. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, so this is just pink Himalayan salt, but you can use any sort of salt that you like. And I'm just gonna put on boil for about 30 minutes, should be more than 20, and we'll get that going. Okay guys, so now we've got our lentils going there. The next thing we're gonna do is our rice. This will also just help you in terms of your time management. So we're gonna put everything on that takes a little bit longer to do. And then while these two things are going, we will then continue on with the rest of our prep. So it's roughly about 2 cups of rice there, and a similar sort of thing here. So again, just with the boiled water, make it a little bit quicker for you. Put that on, seasoning again. Cannot say it enough. Always season, season, season. Okay, don't wait until the end, otherwise your food will smell. And we'll just put that on a medium heat and cover that. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with our mango pickle. And what we've got here, so we have a mixture of garlic, some ginger, and some dried chilies as well. Then we'll have a little bit of red onion in there. And lastly, we'll have some red peppers and maybe a little bit of tomato as well. Okay, here I'm just going to start with our onions. And just a very thin slice, we'll take that off, put that to the side. It's not a disaster if they're not quite uniform. Because our pickle is going to help soften them a little bit. Okay, so get rid of that there. So the garlic for the pickle, we can just leave it whole, and all you've got to do is take your knife and with the flat edge, just press it. The dried chilies we'll just leave whole, and what we'll do with the garlic is just a couple of very thin slices here. Okay guys, so we've chopped up our garlic and our ginger, and we're just going to put it in a little pot like that. Okay, we've also got some dried chili in there as well. What I'm going to do is grab some sugar here. Now this is for our pickling liquid. Okay, this will be a very quick pickle. So there's about 3 tablespoons of sugar that we add to that. And to that, we're just going to add, so this is apple cider vinegar. Okay, and about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar into there as well. And just a splash of water. I know people hate it when you say that, but there's no real quantity to it. It's just, a splash. And we're going to get that onto the heat. Now that's going to form our pickling liquid, and that's what's going to help flavor our mango when we then go to making the rest of the pickle. Okay, the next thing that we'll do here is we're just going to peel our mango. It's a little bit like mowing the lawn if you've ever done that. You pretty much just use this part of the mango as a guide. And obviously try and stay as far away from the flesh as possible, so that you can get as much flesh as possible in your mango and not in the thin. So, peel our mango, and all we're going to do is just cut the bottom off. Once we've got our 2 cheeks and a little bit of the body there, very rough chop this way. Okay guys, so the next step, we've had our pickling liquid come to the boil here, and the sugar there is just dissolved along with the garlic and the ginger, and that's going to start to infuse, and this is what we're going to use, like I said again, to flavor our pickle. So we just put that to the side. We've chopped up our mangoes here, we've chopped up our onions. We're also going to do a little bit of pepper, and what will happen here, so just do a top and tail there, and then just a little insertion. Just just like that. And so we take out in the middle bits. These are a little bit bitter and they're not so great to eat, so we can just take all of that out. Okay. And then, just like that, and then we're going to end up with beautiful matchsticks here. And those we can just throw in with our onions, because that's all going to mix in together anyway. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is finish off our rice. So we've got it finished there, okay, beautifully steamed and done. And now what I'm going to do here is just get a little bit of butter. Now the beautiful thing with basmati rice is that as aromatic as it is and as flavorful as it is, you can always add a little bit more. So today we're going to do a little garlic butter rice. Okay, and what you want to do here is just nice thin slices so they melt really quickly. I'm also just going to grate a little bit of garlic. 2 cloves should be more than enough. And then putting it together is the easiest bit. Alright, so we've got our steamed rice there. Now add our wonderfully sliced butter. And then we just pick up all of our garlic off our board. There. And then just with a spoon, you stir it through. Again, like I said, so this adds a nice depth of flavor and a little bit of richness as well. But you can also do this with coconut milk if you'd like. Or if you don't like coconut milk itself, you can also just do coconut shavings. If you'd like to make a pilau, instead of just cooking it in water, you can cook it in stock and add other aromatics like star anise or cinnamon is another good one. So if we have a look there, our butter is already melted, like I said, and the garlic's in there, so that's going to keep infusing. So garlic is nice and warm, and that heat will help extract some of that flavor from your garlic. Okay, so let me just cover that and ready to go. Okay guys, so we're almost done. The next step for us here is just to do our mango pickle. So we've got some mangoes there that we've chopped up, and those are our peppers and onions that we've done. So we're just gonna put all of that in a bowl. And so all I've done here is I put back our pickling liquid just to get a little bit of heat, because that warmth is going to help soften our peppers and our onions. It'll also help lighten their flavor. Otherwise they're very pungent and can be kind of when you eat them. So here we're just going to pour that over the top. Skit. I'm just going to grab my spoon here. And just give that a nice stir. So you can have a look there. Starting to get our beautiful colors, good cover. And so again, like I said, that moisture and that heat are going to help soften those, because raw onion can be really, really pungent. So I'm just going to cover this with some cling wrap, and I'm going to put that in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Okay guys, so the last part of our cook today will just be finishing off our Dahl. So here I've got the lentils that we finished off, and as you can see here, they've nicely softened there. Like I said before, if you just soak those overnight, it really reduces their cooking time, because those are only on the stove for about 20 minutes, if not less. Okay, and then we've got our red onions there that are going to go in. We've also got our chilies, garlic and ginger that's going to go in there as well. Now, last week we spoke about using the stalks of mushrooms. Okay, so these are what we're going to use in our Dahl today. And the last thing is also just some tomato and our curry powder. Alright, so the first thing we'll do here is just grate some garlic again. So I'm going to use about 4 cloves of garlic. We need to also actually grate the onions into that as well. So there we go, so we've got everything grated in there. As you can see, very clean. So we've got the base of our paste there. The next thing we're going to do is just prep our mushroom stalks. And like I said, this is a great way of repurposing these, and I only learned this much later in life. When I was growing up, we used to just throw these away. But they're completely edible, very mushroomy. And like I said, great for things like this, stews, even your omelets. You know, you want mushrooms in the morning. And for me, it just kind of feels like you get 2 uses out of the mushroom that you otherwise would just throw away. So we're getting there. We've got the prep that we've done for our curry paste. We've also got our mushrooms chopped and ready. The last thing that I'm going to do here is just grate tomato. Now this is personal preference. If you'd like to, if you like whole tomato or if you like chunks of tomato, you can do that as well. There's no real difference. For me personally, I just prefer it because it sort of helps the sauce cook along a little bit quicker, so it saves on time. And I've just got a thing about tomato skin, to be honest, so I'm not the biggest fan. I think I get that from my mom. So we've got some beautiful red tomato there. And now we are good to go. Okay team, the moment I've all been waiting for. We're going to go ahead and finish off our curry here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of... Okay, and so like I said last week, always make sure that your saucepan, your pan, whatever you're cooking with, if you're going to put some oil in it, always make sure it's hot. Alright, and the first thing we'll do is add our paste. Okay. Now to this, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of our curry powder. And this is really where the flavor begins. Okay. Now what you'll find is that as you add the curry powder, it's going to absorb a lot of the moisture that's in there. So don't be afraid just to add a little splash of water here and there, just to stop it sticking from the bottom. You don't want it so much that your paste is swimming. Okay, again, we're trying to make a paste here, and what we're really trying to do is just get these onions, the garlic, and the ginger cooked through quite nicely. Okay, so as we can see here, guys, paste is just starting to come together. Like I said, we want it to cook down and really become a paste. Okay, so this will take roughly about 10 minutes. Like I said, it's a bit of an iterative process, but it's worth it because it gets you the best results. So just be patient. But I promise you, it will all be worthwhile. Alright, as you can see here, we're thickening beautifully. So I'm going to let that go just a little bit more. Now again, I know a lot of you are asking, where's the meat, Teejay? Where's the meat? Okay, and for me again, like I said, we really want to highlight the freshness of all the produce that we're using, as well as trying to introduce some vegetarian dishes into our diets. Okay, so we got back to a paste here once again. Our tomatoes are cooked down beautifully. And I'm just going to add mushrooms, give that a little stir, and then I'm going to add the lentils. Give that a good stir through as well. Now, if you want more vegetables in this, you're more than welcome to add whatever you'd like. Okay, carrots, broccoli, you know, get adventurous with it. But this is just the base. What I'm going to do here is add some water. Now for an extra layer of flavor, instead of adding water, you can add stock. Obviously because this is a vegetarian dish, you can do a vegetable stock. If you don't have access to vegetable stock, you can make one. And so we're just going to cover that. So for your stocks, you can use carrots, onions, what else can we put in there? Any sort of aromatics. Celery is another good one. You pretty much just boil those off, and those can actually be your offcuts as well. So you don't have to buy carrots to make the stock. All the little bits and pieces that you have left over after you cook, you can just throw those into a pot, cover them with water, boil them, don't season, and then you can always freeze that off and use that as stock at a later date. So we're going to let this cook for about 15 minutes, let it thicken, and we'll be ready to go. Then we're going to plate. Okay guys, so we are done, and we can have a look there, beautifully steaming. So those are our lentils, and now we're ready to plate.
Coming over, I can do you for the night. Be your man, be your lover for the right I can do you for the night. Be your man, be your lover for the right price.